My friend, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into the grocery store, pushed your cart down the aisle, and felt your heart sink when you saw the prices? The bread that used to cost $2 is now almost $4. The carton of eggs feels like a luxury. Even a small bag of apples suddenly feels out of reach. And then the pharmacy. You pick up your prescriptions, smile politely at the clerk, but inside you wonder, how much longer can I keep doing this? Will my social security check stretch to the end of the month? If you've ever felt that way, you are not alone. Millions of seniors across America are carrying the same weight. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not powerless. You have wisdom, experience, and the ability to adapt. You've stretched a dollar before, and you can do it again. So today, let me sit with you and share some simple but powerful ways to stretch your budget. Not by suffering, not by going without, but by choosing wisely and living with dignity. Number 1, grocery savings, the warm heart of the kitchen. The kitchen has always been the heart of the home. It's where families gathered, where love was cooked into every meal, where stories were shared around the table. And even today, it's still the place where you can protect both your health and your wallet. But here's the truth. Groceries are one of the biggest drains on a senior's budget. The good news? Small choices here can save you hundreds every year. Take fruit, for example. Pre-cut fruit in little plastic cups looks convenient, but it's shockingly expensive. A tiny box of cut melon for $7, or a whole melon for the same price that gives you 3 times more. One simple choice, and suddenly you're saving without giving up the sweetness. And what about store brands? For years, advertising convinced us that only name brands were good. But here's the secret. Many store brands come from the very same factories. Same oats, same peanut butter, same milk, just with a different label. A senior in Ohio told me she switched to store-brand oatmeal and peanut butter. It saved her $30 a month, $360 a year, without a single difference in taste. Then there's timing. Grocery stores quietly reduce prices in the evenings on bread, meat, and even fresh produce. A couple in Florida told me they shop around 8 at night, just before closing. They save almost 50% on chicken and fish just by showing up at the right time. Think about it. Just by choosing the whole fruit, picking store brands, and shopping at the right hour, you can free up money for other things that matter. And yet, your meals stay full of flavor, full of love, and full of dignity. Full of dignity. Number 2, building a smart pantry. Now let's talk about your pantry. Not just a shelf with cans, but your safety net, your shield. I call it the Senior Smart Pantry. Here's the beauty of it. When you keep a steady stock of basics, rice, beans, pasta, canned tomatoes, frozen vegetables, you're never trapped. You always have the power to make a meal, no matter what your wallet looks like that week. Let me give you an example. A can of beans, a cup of rice, and a handful of frozen spinach. Together, they create a warm, nourishing meal that costs less than $1 per serving. Healthy, filling, affordable. Compare that to fast food or takeout, where one meal can cost $15 or $20. Over a month, that difference could mean hundreds of dollars saved. And there's more. Cooking at home isn't just cheaper, it's healthier. When you prepare meals yourself, you decide how much salt, how much sugar, how much oil goes in. You're not at the mercy of a restaurant. You're in control. Think of it this way. Your pantry is like your toolbox. With a few simple ingredients, you can build anything. A pot of hearty soup, a pasta with vegetables, even a comforting casserole. Each meal costs pennies compared to eating out. But the taste, the nutrition, the love, that's priceless. And here's the hidden blessing. When you cook at home, it connects you to old memories. The smell of onions frying, the sound of a simmering pot, the rhythm of chopping vegetables. These are not just tasks. They are reminders of the life you've lived, the meals you've shared, the love you've given through food. So yes, a smart pantry saves money, but it also feeds the heart. It brings back dignity, control, and a quiet sense of peace. Number 3, medicine savings, where the real money hides. Now let's take a gentle walk into a place that makes many of us nervous, the pharmacy counter. For so many seniors, this is where the budget truly feels the tightest. A single bottle of pills can cost more than a week's worth of groceries. And when you need more than one prescription, sometimes it feels impossible. But I want to share a truth with you. There are ways, quiet, powerful ways, to take back control and save. You just need to know where to look and what to ask. The first step is this: always ask about generics. So many seniors I've spoken to were paying hundreds every month for brand name drugs, when a simple generic version was sitting quietly on the shelf for a fraction of the price. The ingredients are the same, the safety is the same, and the effectiveness is the same. But the price? Sometimes 70, even 80% less. I remember a gentleman in Texas who was paying almost $300 a month for a cholesterol medication. One day his pharmacist leaned in and whispered, "Did you know there's a generic version?" He switched, and his monthly cost dropped to $30. Imagine that, saving over $3,000 a year just by asking one question. The second secret is shopping around. Most of us believe all pharmacies charge the same price, but the truth is, they don't. One senior couple in California shared their story with me. The husband needed blood pressure medicine. At one chain pharmacy, the price was $120. Down the road, at a different store, it was $48. Same medication, same dosage, almost 3 times cheaper. Think about that. It's like buying the exact same loaf of bread at 2 different stores, one charging $5, the other charging $2. You wouldn't pay extra for the same bread, so why pay extra for the same medicine? And then there are the discount programs. You may have heard of cards like GoodRx, Single Care, or even the pharmacy's own savings programs. These are not scams. They are real tools that can cut your costs by 50% or more. A widow in Arizona told me she was struggling to afford her arthritis medication. With a GoodRx card, the price fell from $95 to just $18. That difference meant she could finally buy both her medicine and her groceries without sacrificing one for the other. But here's something even more important. Always talk to your doctor. Doctors aren't just healers. They're partners. If a prescription is too expensive, speak up. Tell them honestly, "Doctor, I can't afford this one. Is there another option?" You'll be surprised how often they can switch to something more affordable, equally effective, and safer for your budget. And let's not forget one final tip: ordering 90-day supplies instead of 30. Insurance companies and pharmacies often charge less per pill when you buy a larger supply. Not only does it save money, it saves you the stress of running back and forth every month. So when you stand at that pharmacy counter, remember this: you have choices, you have power. And with the right questions, the right programs, and the right courage to speak up, you can turn that counter of fear into a counter of freedom. Number 4, cutting hidden costs at home. The silent budget breakers. Let's step back for a moment and think about the place where most of us spend the majority of our time: our home. It's the one place where we should feel safe, comfortable, and at peace. But do you know what? Sometimes our very own home becomes a quiet thief, stealing little bits of our budget without us even realizing it. It's not always the big bills that drain us. It's the hidden costs, the silent ones, the ones that creep in like shadows. Take the electric bill, for example. I once spoke with a sweet grandmother in Ohio. Every month, her power bill shocked her. She thought she was being careful, turning off the lights and watching her usage. But when her grandson visited, he noticed something. Her old refrigerator in the garage, one she rarely used, was running all day, all night, sucking electricity like a sponge. The moment she unplugged it, her monthly bill dropped by $25. That's $300 a year, saved simply by noticing a silent cost. Then there's cable television. How many of us pay for dozens of channels we never watch? One gentleman from Florida shared his story. He was paying over $100 a month for cable, but when he looked closely, he realized he only ever watched 2 channels. He switched to a simple streaming package and cut his bill down to $25. That one change freed up almost $1,000 a year. And here's another sneaky one: subscriptions. Magazines, online apps, memberships. Some of them we forget about, but the charges keep coming, month after month. A lady in Michigan showed me her bank statement, and together we found 4 different subscriptions she wasn't even using anymore. $10 here, $15 there. It added up to nearly $50 a month. That's $600 a year she was losing, silently. Once she canceled them, she felt like she had given herself a raise. Now let's talk about water. It might not seem like much, but even a tiny leak, a drip, drip, drip from the kitchen faucet, can add up to gallons wasted every single day. And gallons wasted means dollars wasted. A senior couple in Arizona fixed a simple leak in their bathroom sink, and the next month their water bill was $15 lower. It may not sound like a lot, but over the course of a year, those savings add up. And here's the part I love most. When you cut hidden costs at home, you don't just save money. You save energy, you save stress, and you give yourself more breathing room, more freedom, more peace of mind. Because at the end of the day, a home should give us comfort, not sneak behind us and rob us blind. So I invite you to take a gentle walk through your home. Look for the silent budget breakers, that extra fridge, that forgotten subscription, that cable package you don't really need. Turn off what no longer serves you. Cancel what no longer brings joy. Fix what quietly leaks away your money. Every dollar you keep in your pocket is not just a dollar paying. It's a dollar earned, a dollar protected, a dollar that can help you live with more dignity and more choice. Number 5, finding joy in low-cost living, the hidden treasure of simplicity. Now let me share something from the heart. Saving money isn't just about numbers on a page or bills in a wallet. It's about something much deeper. It's about freedom. It's about dignity. And most of all, it's about joy. Because here's the truth, when you find ways to stretch your budget, you don't just keep more dollars, you unlock more choices. You create space to enjoy the things that really matter. I'll tell you about Mrs. Thompson, an 80-year-old woman I met in California. For years, she struggled to pay for her medications and groceries. She pinched every penny, but she still felt trapped. Then slowly, she started making small changes, switching to generics, trimming her cable bill, fixing leaks around the house. And do you know what happened? Month by month, she saved a little more. Until finally, one day, she realized she had enough extra money to do something she hadn't done in years. She bought herself a ticket to visit her daughter in another state. She told me with tears in her eyes, it wasn't the money that mattered. It was the pride, the feeling that I wasn't chained anymore. And isn't that what we all want? Not just to survive, but to live, to feel free, to enjoy the sweetness of life, no matter our age. Finding joy in low-cost living doesn't mean denying yourself. It doesn't mean living small or feeling deprived. No, it means discovering the beauty in simplicity. It means choosing homemade soup over expensive takeout and finding that it tastes even better. It means sharing laughter over a deck of cards with friends instead of paying for entertainment that never fills the soul. It means walking in the park at sunset, breathing fresh air and realizing peace doesn't come with a price tag. And here's the gentle reminder I want to leave you with. Every time you cut a hidden cost, every time you choose a smarter option, you're not just saving money, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your health, your happiness, your freedom. Because the truth is, seniors like you've already given the world so much. You've raised families, built communities, carried wisdom. Now, it's your time to live with less worry and more peace. So take these steps. Stretch your grocery money, save on medicine, cut the silent costs at home, and then use that freedom to do something that makes your heart sing. Remember this, my friend. Living well doesn't mean spending more. It means spending wisely, with love, with care, and with joy. And the treasure of that choice is yours to keep. Final thoughts. My dear friend, life has taught us both something important. Happiness doesn't always come from having more, but from making the most of what we already have. Stretching your budget isn't about living with less. It's about living with wisdom. It's about protecting your dignity, your freedom, and your peace of mind. And remember, every dollar you save is not just money in your pocket. It's a gift of choice, of independence, of joy. You deserve that. You've earned that. So take these lessons to heart. Apply them gently, step by step, and let them guide you into a life that feels lighter, freer, and filled with more of what truly matters. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to join our community here at Elderly Mind. Together, we share wisdom, strength, and hope for better living after 60. Subscribe, leave a kind comment, and share this video with another senior who might need this encouragement today. Because none of us are alone on this journey, And together we can all live smarter, healthier, and happier.